Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Slayer Talk. A brand new season of Slayer Talk, Carol.
But it's not.
Well, it kind of is.
It is not.
Mark. With me as always is my wife, Carol. How are you, Carol? You sound bad.
Hey, what's up? I'm good.
Not much. It's been a good week here. It is September 21st, 1999. And yeah, it's not... Apparently next week will be the season premiere.
Right.
The actual season premiere, kind of. Well, I mean, this is sort of the season premiere, but...
It's not.
New episodes next week for Slayer Talk. But this is an episode, Earshot, that apparently was supposed to come out sometime in the middle of last season when they do the previously on Buffy.
Right.
They show Faith and stuff like that and everything. But they delayed it for reasons of national tragedy.
Yeah. It was supposed to come out, I guess, pretty near the Columbine shooting.
Yeah. So, and it's about a kid with a gun in school. And, like, Buffy literally hears the plot to kill all the children in the cafeteria, and apparently that's where most of the damage was done in Columbine, was in the cafeteria. So really weird, prescient kind of episode. And I mean, while I would rather have had the season premiere of Buffy, I applaud their decision to not air this until after. Honestly, I think they could have just not aired it at all. Really.
Right. Like, I mean, yes, I agree. They probably shouldn't have aired it when they planned to, but then just don't show it, because having it out of order when we were expecting the new season to start kind of sucked.
Yeah, it's fine. It's a fine episode.
They could have released it like even in the middle of the summer and given us like, just like, hey, it's a bonus new episode.
Right.
That would have been better. Because, you wouldn't even really know, because like, they watch, they show reruns and shit. So.
They do. Yeah, they do show reruns and shit. You're right.
Yeah. So it wouldn't have been so weird. It would be waiting for the story to continue.
Right.
Waiting still.
We want to know what happens when they go to college and whatever.
Exactly.
It makes a lot more sense that one weird, like, short kid, helped them stand up to the fucking mayor or whatever, and, he was part of, leading the charge. And he's also the one, I think, that gives her the award of, the savior of the class award or whatever. And that actually has a lot more emotional resonance with this episode as background. But, you also didn't need to air this episode ever, like I said, because that stuff already happened. Can't go back and get the emotional resonance.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they did feature him, somewhat prominently as a background character in the last few episodes, and I guess it makes more sense now. But, the episode begins with Buffy on patrol. It's Police Academy 3 Buffy on patrol or whatever.
Yeah, it's Buffy versus two really fucked up looking demons.
Yeah.
It's like they're twins. They're twin nasty things.
Twin nasties with no mouths.
Yeah, it's gross. Not good at all.
Growing up where I grew up, there were a lot of twin nasties.
Were there?
There are a lot of twins.
Were they nasty?
The little, that's
not nice. Choose your words carefully.
Some of them were.
They might be listening.
Some of them were. Some of them weren't. There you go. If you're listening to the show, you were one of the ones that wasn't. The small town I grew up in, I think because of inbreeding.
God.
But maybe because of the water or something. I don't know. But there were a lot of twins. There were a lot of multiples in families.
You're so
a freakishly amount.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So she gets scratched?
She does,
the demon?
yes.
Is that she breaks her skin on her hand?
She gets rabies from the demon, sort of. She kills one of the demons.
Yeah.
And the other demon runs away.
But
yes, she gets scratched and some of its blood gets in her.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's even worse than I
sexually
realized.
transmitted or whatever. It's
Gross.
serum transmitted disease. But she's, all of a sudden her hand is all swollen and looks irritated, and she's
scratching
at it, and it's no good.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't want demon blood in your cuts, that's for sure.
What's funny about this episode is it's kind of interesting that this is the one that they had to shelve until next season because it's very self-contained. There is no Faith. They mention Faith. They talk about Faith. Faith's not in the episode. The mayor's not in the episode.
Huh.
Nothing about the main storyline, the main arc of the story of last season is advanced in any way in this episode.
Interesting.
It's all just very self-contained.
I wonder if they did that on purpose in any way. Like if they...
Do you think they got an inside tip?
No.
That Columbine was going to happen?
No, I'm wondering...
Joss Whedon is like, you know what, those kids probably deserve it, but...
Oh my God. No.
I'm not going to tell anyone, but we're delaying this episode, everyone.
I think that maybe they edited it.
Oh, I don't know, because of how would they have... and then they went back and just edited the other episodes that they'd already filmed?
I don't
To try to
know.
get... Yeah, I
guess
so.
they just lucked out. Whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, so she's scratching at her hand and everything, and she says to Giles, yeah, like, maybe some of this blood got in me. I don't know. And he's like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Demon HIV.
He, goes to the books. I don't know how he knows where to look for this stuff all the time.
That's part of his training.
I guess. But
Part of his training is a watcher? That's what they call him?
Yeah. He finds the information that this particular demon leaves a part of itself in a person.
Like, if you kill one or whatever and its blood gets in you, part of it lives on in you. And it's really weird because she takes this to mean that, like, she's going to get a tail or scales, or she's going to, like, look like it. And, like, she's taking it very literally, like, oh, it's inside of me, like, or whatever,
Yeah. Well, I'd be freaked out, too.
I would be freaked out, but it's weird the way they talk about it, because I would think, like, oh, I'm going to have whatever, like, I don't know. But I don't know what other, like, the ability to jump or to get stabbed by a knife and die. I didn't see the demon.
What?
I didn't see the demon do a lot, so I don't know what its abilities were. But I wouldn't think, like, oh, a part of the demon lives on inside you. That means that I'm going to fucking turn into the demon.
Yeah.
It's more like a All of Me situation. You ever seen that movie?
No.
With Lily Tomlin and Steve Martin?
Nope.
Oh, well, Lily Tomlin dies and, like, her soul gets put inside
Oh, no,
Steve
I have
Martin.
seen it. I have seen it. That put Edwina back in bowl.
Yes! That's right!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's so weird.
So I think it's a situation of that. Like,
But it's not that either. Because the demon's not communicating with her.
No, what I'm saying is that's what I would think.
Oh, okay.
If they told me that, that's what I would think. I would think, like, oh my God, is Ghost.
Right. But instead, she starts hearing her classmates'
thoughts. She gets an ability the demon had. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And the ability is psychicness, or whatever, mind reading. Yeah.
Telepathy.
There you go.
Because they didn't have mouths, that's how they communicated.
They communicated telepathically, like the aliens on Star Trek that communicated telepathically.
Like Deanna Troy.
Oh, but empathically.
And Oksana Troy, her mother.
Oksana Bayul.
I thought she could read minds.
Yes, they sometimes they would read each other's minds.
I think her mother could read minds. But Deanna could only, like, sense people's feelings.
Deanna could only look at a scowling alien on a screen and be like, turn to the captain and be like, he's not happy. Thanks, Deanna. Dynamite dropping.
Oh, my God.
So, anyway, but she gets the telepathy ability. At first, she's really psyched about it.
Yeah.
I
don't think she was psyched. She was a little freaked out.
You were like, well, she said, this is going to be great. Like, who can defeat me if I know all my enemies' moves and stuff like that. And even Giles was like, maybe this will be awesome or whatever. And then she starts to hear all her friends' thoughts. Like, she's talking to Xander, and Xander's like, sex.
He, like, the creepy teacher who likes Cordelia just immediately
turns. He's not really a teacher. He's just from the council.
Right.
Yeah.
He just immediately turns and walks out of the room because he doesn't want her to hear his thoughts.
Well, he says he thinks something like, oh, Cordelia's looking so fabulous today. Or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, one by one, they all leave because of the things they're thinking about. But Giles doesn't leave soon enough.
Well, no. That's
it's not Giles.
That's
it's
her mom.
Okay, never
mind. But that comes a little bit later. I do want to talk about that. But it is funny that Giles is able to control that thought. Like, it seems like she didn't read Giles' thought nearly as much as she did everyone else's. She says what he's thinking to prove it to him, like, right away. But then after that, it seems like he can pretty much, like, contain his thoughts, I guess, or whatever.
Well, maybe he's just so focused on work all the time that, like, his thoughts are just boring librarian thoughts, and so she wasn't, they didn't bother to tell us what they were.
Now, obviously, this episode, this ability is not good.
Right.
Because she begins to become overwhelmed.
Well, yeah, first when she's walking in the hallway at school, she hears guys thinking about her and how she looks and how they want to do stuff to her.
Buffy, I'd love to shove you against the locker.
Yeah, so that would be a little creepy. I mean, it would be maybe a little flattering at first.
Trust me, you would not want to hear what guys have to think about you as you walk down the streets.
Oh, my.
Women are not prepared for how guys think.
That's scary. But yeah, so she's suffering from like that. But yeah, eventually it's just like she's here. It seems like the it's getting stronger.
Yeah.
Because she just starts hearing more and more and
from
more.
Like longer and longer distances.
Yeah.
And it turns out like that this other guy, they found a guy that the same thing happened to him. And they're like the one guy, I can't remember his name, but the other watcher dude is like, oh, what did they do? And Giles is like, he's isolated from society. He could never turn it off. And like, so he's, like he's going to go mad or whatever.
Yeah. Well, Giles says she'll be fine. And then thinks if we don't get this under control, she'll go mad.
Right.
And so she still hears it.
I do believe that this would be a great power to have if you were in full control over it.
Yes.
If you could turn it off and turn it on and focus it. So, like, I could focus on your thoughts, and anyone else in the room, I'm not hearing their thoughts. So you could focus it on a person at a time, and you can turn it off and on. Then I think it would be a cool ability to have.
Yeah.
Although, would you like? There's a privacy issue there, I guess. Right?
There's a huge privacy issue, and the thing is, you can think it's going to be cool, but you don't know what you're going to hear, and you're going to hear things that you wish you didn't.
Yeah, that's true. Because people are going to think things about you that are not good,
or about people you love.
Yeah.
Like, for example, what she gets from her mother.
Well, yeah.
How does she get this from her mother? I don't even get it.
Her mother's trying to take care of her.
Yeah, because she thinks she's, like, sick, I guess.
Well, her mom knows what's going on.
Okay, yeah.
And she's trying to leave the room. And I think she's trying to leave the room because she's afraid. Her fear is making her think of this. It's like, none of this is stated directly, but I feel like basically what happens is she hears that Buffy can hear thoughts. And she's like, oh, what's a secret I have from Buffy that I wouldn't want her to know that I might think about?
Right.
Oh, this is the only secret I have from Buffy. Oh, shit. She's going to hear me thinking this. Oh, stop thinking it. And then she just keeps thinking about it. So she's trying to give her soup and leave so that Buffy can just, like, whatever, chill and not have to hear her thoughts. And all of a sudden, Buffy's like, you had sex with Giles?
Twice?
On the hood of a cop car.
So awful.
But she's like, instantly she knows, obviously, because she's thinking. And she's like, we it wasn't us, we were teenagers. At the very end of the episode, she does confront Giles kind of in a very humorous way. Mm-hmm. Where she's like, yeah, maybe you're too busy having sex with my mom.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so awesome.
So the thing she hears at school, though, before she takes to bed because she can't handle it anymore, is that they're going to kill all the students or something. What was it?
Someone's like, oh, these fucking students are pieces of shit. I'm going to kill them all or whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly that, but
kind of like that.
it's weird. There's a red herring beforehand too, because she's walking down the hallway, like you said, and people are thinking stuff like, "Oh, I want to fuck Buffy," and then other people are thinking like, "Oh my god, I'm no good. Oh, this test, I can't believe this test is," and like just stuff that teenagers think and everything, right? But there's this one teacher that was like, "Well, his job would be good if all the kids were fucking dead or whatever."
Right?
Like,
if it weren't for the kids.
and I was thinking like, "Oh, is it that guy? Is that guy going to be the killer or whatever?" But it's not. It's just a red herring.
No. So eventually, they figure out it's going to be when.
Well, so the guy says it's going to be tomorrow. Whoever's thinking it says
Tomorrow's going to be the last
tomorrow's going to be the day. I'm doing it tomorrow, whatever. In the cafeteria, they think. And Xander makes a joke about the lunch lady poisoning their loose meat sandwiches or whatever. And it's ha time.
Right.
And then Buffy can't be around it. So she can't, because it's so overwhelming at this point, she can't go and look for the person. They're trying to figure out, like, who it is. And she's like, I don't know. And there's all these different, like, suspects, basically. Because they mention the school newspaper and how the school newspaper is been really depressing lately or whatever. And the dude that runs the school newspaper is a weird, like, like, fucking goth type kid or whatever. There's a very underrated, I think, hilarious joke that Seth Green delivers perfectly, where I think it's Allison Hannigan says, "Has anybody noticed that the paper is like depressing lately or whatever?" And he goes, I usually just skip to the obits," which is hilarious that their school newspaper has an obituary section.
Their high school newspaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hilarious. It's a very like fun little joke. But anyway, so that's one of the suspects. Another one of the suspects is like the creepy short kid that we were talking about. And then there's like a smattering of other people. But Allison Hannigan, Willow, she comes up with an idea of like asking this questionnaire of people to figure out if they are going to be the killer.
Yeah.
And so they start questioning them.
Like, are you having any thoughts about hurting yourself? Mm-hmm. Are you having any thoughts about hurting other people?
Yeah, basically.
Stuff like that.
It's
right?
Yeah, it's like a psychology like thing, yeah. It's supposed to be for the newspaper, or not the newspaper, the yearbook. They say it's for the yearbook committee.
What's funny, though, is I think that they weren't asking everybody all the questions, only like...
No, so Willow was doing her job, and then Xander was fucking off like usual. And there's a hilarious gay joke where he's talking to the gay guy, and the gay guy's like, "Hey, I've come out already. You need to come out too, Xander," because we reestablished that guy thinks Xander's also gay.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know.
He doesn't look or act like
dumb.
feminine or anything.
There was some sort of misunderstanding during that episode, if I remember correctly, where it was like Xander seemed to somewhat indicate that he was gay, but it was a misunderstanding.
And then the guy, came out and he wanted to be supportive, so he didn't correct him that he wasn't gay.
Yeah, it was a real Three's Company situation.
Right.
But anyway, so they're trying to narrow down who it is, and then they think, I don't remember how they come to the conclusion that it's that dude.
But I think there is a dude.
She hears him, I think. I think Buffy comes back to the school and she's like, I gotta do this. I gotta stand up to evil. And she hears his thought, by this time tomorrow it'll be all over or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she's like, it's him.
So he has a gun.
Yeah.
And they think
he's in the clock tower.
Yeah, which is weird. So they think that he's going to be like a sniper and start shooting people.
He does have a sniper rifle, so...
The whole thing is kind of fun. In reality, we find out he's there to kill himself. Why would you go up into a clock tower with a sniper rifle to commit suicide?
It's very weird.
I feel like maybe he's lying.
He's putting it together piece by piece and everything and stuff. Oh, I think actually... She's cured at this point, right? Or no, she's not cured yet?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Because I remember she's climbing, she climbs up the clock tower and she's leaps up there and everything. And the one girl that hates her that we find in this episode, there's a girl that doesn't like her because Buffy was answering all the questions in class.
Yeah.
Reading her thoughts. She's like, I could have done that jump.
That was funny.
So she gets up there and she's basically, she must not be able to read thoughts anymore because she could read his thoughts.
Yeah.
So Angel goes out, kills the other demon, and lets her drink the liquefied heart of the demon or whatever. And that's what, it's like a blue liquid. It's
gross.
It's blue Kool-Aid.
It's gross.
But that's what cures it. We find the magical MacGuffin, magical cure. It's what this show does. So she's cured now. But anyway, she goes up there and she's like, "Don't fucking do this," and like she negotiates him. She talks him down. She does that thing where the police negotiate with people.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You know what? You know why people don't think about you and your problems? Like you can't hear what they're thinking down there. It seems so peaceful and everything, but let me tell you, they're all fucking thinking about their own problems.
Yeah.
Everyone's self-absorbed. It's high school. No one cares."
Yeah.
That's kind of what she says, and I guess that works.
So she thinks that she's saving everybody else, but like somebody makes a comment about having stopped him from killing students, and he's like, "What? I wasn't going to hurt anybody else. I was going to kill myself."
Yeah, she says something. It's only them two up there.
Okay.
She says something like, you don't want to hurt them or whatever. And he was like, this is after he gives the gun over and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, you saved, whatever." And he's like, "Oh, I would never hurt anyone else. I came up here to kill myself."
Which makes no fucking sense.
Yeah. So then they realize, she realizes, oh my God, it must be somebody else. And then just by happenstance, Xander is, for some reason, in the kitchen of the cafeteria and sees the lunch lady holding a box of rat poison over the stew.
Yep.
Or the chili or whatever it is.
And so then he runs out into the cafeteria and starts screaming, "It's poison! Don't eat it! Don't eat it!" Knocking the food out of people's hands.
Mm-hmm. So that's the resolution.
So that is how
Awesome.
they save everybody.
What a great fucking resolution
I wonder if anything even happens to the lunch lady, because nobody actually got hurt.
Yeah, I don't know. Snyder, what do you think Snyder would do?
I don't know. Snyder doesn't give a shit about anybody anyway.
Yeah, he's dead now, right?
He is.
I mean, yeah.
At the end of the season,
Right,
but he's still alive now because this is not the end of the season.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, he does die eventually, right?
Yeah.
The mayor eats him or something.
Yes.
Yeah, what a fucking weird fucking ending that was. But yeah, I mean, that's what happens. And it's fine.
I thought it was a good episode.
It was fine.
It was funny. I mean, there were a lot of funnies.
It was funnier than a lot of the episodes, yes. Less serious. It was definitely a kind of, for as serious as this subject is.
Right, seriously, dude.
It was definitely more throwaway than anything else. They didn't treat it with the respect and gravitas that such a subject should probably be treated with.
Yeah, murder, suicide, very light and fluffy.
Murder most foul. But anyway, yeah. So that's it.
That is the episode with Buffy drinking liquefied demon hearts.
Awesome.
And saving the world.
So, Carol,
or the school.
Tell people where they can find their own liquefied demon hearts.
You can write us at latefee1994@aol.com.
Mm-hmm.
Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
Oh, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.